Well, the scenario is actually showing a pretty good scene from Robin, which we normally do not see, but it still doesn't show her with Haki. I just want to see her with Haki and I will feel completion. Expect, of course, if I don't, unless of course I die and I will never see it again, but that's a story for another day. Hi for those who are watching, this is me, the angry anime fan that is very reviewer, although I technically mostly just review Eden Zero nowadays. I occasionally jump into other mangas again. This time I'm still deciding to review One Piece chapter 10,020. And it's basically as Robin versus Black Maria, but it's unlike the other thing, it's not a conclusion of the fight. It's more like setting up for the conclusion of the fight, or scenario. But it actually begins with Yamamoto and, Kaido facing off, as we actually hear the name of Yamamoto's devil fruit, and it's indeed a mythical devil fruit. Although the translation here is actually very difficult to understand, mostly because I read the manga helpers one, and it sounds a little bit different. It is saying something like the Makami dog fruit. I mean, maybe it's the Inu Inu no Mi model Akami or something like that, or Makami. Either way, a Makami is sort of a guardian deity dog-like creature from the Japanese mythology, I think, which fits with Wano. The fact that even Kaido points it out is the fact that is one in this translation again, saying that it's Wano's guardian deity, is surprising. I mean, no one is actually pointing out that some of these fruits sound so real life-like, especially the fact there's a gas fruit and other things like a mochi fruit, a phoenix fruit, a Buddha, mind you. So yeah, the fact that he's saying it's a guardian deity is implying that maybe Wano has found that. So why did Kaido want that kind of fruit anyway? Again, there's a lot about Kaido I absolutely hate, because a lot of things about him is so contradiction, but it's not like Big Mom. Big Mom is a contradiction because she's a psychopathic woman child. Everything she does is a contradiction because she's just unpredictable. But Kaido, a lot of things seem to suggest that he sees that this world is the only thing that is right. So yeah, either way, he never wanted Yamamoto to eat it. But the funny thing here is that what I mean by all that thing is that he's implying that Orochi has been a tyrant, but he did transform the country into a giant factory. This seems to imply that, yes, while he did use Orochi, he actually didn't mind that Orochi turned it into a factory. This seems to imply that, I mean, yes, he wants to turn Wano into a lawless zone, and we all know that, etc., etc. But this seems to imply that he embraces that kind of things. I mean, yes, he has talked that he wants to turn Onigashima and Wano into a lawless zone, so yes, maybe that thing, but it seems to imply that he actually served Orochi because he knew there was that kind of tyrant that this world needed. And turning things into a factory for weapon and destruction is the right thing of the world. That seems to be the thing that Kaido is saying. And he wants Yamamoto to take that place because, well, the fruits of their labor. But of course Yamamoto is against that, as Yamamoto fires off a mythical breath attack, something like a glacial fang technique. Is that implying that the power of the Ikame fruit is actually the power of ice? Of course Kaido countering with borrowed breath, but they seem to be equal. But in this scenario, Yamamoto is of course at a disadvantage. It's during this scenario back that we see Robin and Brook, where we actually see pictures of Robin's loved ones. That is pretty good. But Brooke is saying they're illusions. But it looks like Robin's fallen for them, but she is not. She knows they're illusions. She just gets a little bit close until she actually gives them a big slap. It turns out that somehow Black Maria has the power of illusions now. And we actually get the name of 3 of her subordinates. And surprisingly, a new number. Yes, I'm saying surprisingly because they have been so irrelevant lately that we almost forgot that they existed. What is even more surprising that this is actually a female number. We have the Tenju Kodari, the rat snake smile, which seems to have, just that, a body of a snake. And then another one who seems to have a neck of a snake, that it's a hog-nosed snake smile. As for this number, it's number 9, called Kunjun. She is a hot lady with hot pants and a bikini, as well as fangs of it all. But it turns out that Robin knew that there were illusions. She has played along with it all. But in these illusions, we saw 3 of her loved ones: her mother, her professor, as well as Jaguar di Sol, who hasn't been mentioned a lot of times. This implies that Black Maria can somewhat do that. It's not exactly known how Black Maria created these illusions, but hey, it's some things in One Piece are not explained. But it goes hand to hand with the fact that Black Maria's crew, or at least her sense, is going along the theme of haunted spookiness, since a lot of her Smile subordinates have Smile uses that make them look like yokai, not to mention that she herself is a Jurongumu, so I guess it fits with the supernatural theme of Black Maria's power. But Brook was immune to the illusions because he has been dealing with illusions or things for 50 years on the ship by seeing his friends surviving and all that stuff like that. And then we're actually a little bit more introduced to Black Maria's odd weapon that we saw. It was surprisingly a face that is based on the One Yu Judo, another Japanese thing. But it turns out that what it really is, or when the translation came out, it seems to imply that this weapon had eaten a Smile fruit and somehow became like this. But from what I can see from this vein, it's not like that. It's actually a little bit even weirder. It seems that it's... judging from what I see, it seems to have been a Smile user that ate a pug Smile, or successfully, which means that it has a human face, but its body is that of a complete pug that is spinning around the wheel of Black Maria's wheel, creating fire, that creating an illusion of the One Yu Judo. Black Maria is taunting them all by saying that you illusions don't save you, but dreams do, as she creates more fires and even saying that you shouldn't worry about your comrades of it all. But it's pretty amazing though that Robin is actually creating a spider net with one arm that grabs up into the ceiling. That is a very unique way. Brook also shows an amazing power. I mean, one of his first Devil Fruit powers, where he's actually revealed that the very essence of his soul can freeze one now. So whatever if this weapon is someone who ate a Smile and then, well, became like this, or if it's a person running into the weapon itself, it's not exactly clear to me. But Cold Soul is an attack where Brook's soul go through the body, freezing the One Yu Judo pug Smile, and thus breaking Black Maria's fire on it all. Of course, she becomes a little bit angrier as she begins to attack, as she still says to the fact that all of her friends will sell her out. Brook dulls out the fire with the ice ban, as Black Maria keeps on just taunting her. Oh yeah, and by the way, she was topless before, but she has actually put in some threads to cover up her breasts. And she's also taunting Sanji of the fact that, yes, I absolutely loathed the fact that Sanji just screamed that scenario. Because a lot of people just said the same thing. That was extremely pathetic. And now that is also once again mentioned here, that he should be a laughingstock. It's pretty surprising that no one has actually commented yet that this guy is fighting evenly with Queen. But isn't he the guy that pathetically begged for help? No one has actually commented on that yet. I mean, they have commented that him begging for help was pathetic, but you know what I mean. The fact that Black Maria feels it pathetic that since he has the second highest bounty, that the fact that he was so willing to sell out Robin of the fact. But Robin and Brook knows better. This was nothing of the fact of saving his own skin. Sanji trusted Robin, and he knows that she can deal with Black Maria. It is also the fact that he can't fight a woman, so he has to let Robin deal with it. It's not selling her out or endangering her. No, he fully believed in her. That, can you save me, please? You have to do this. And so Brook vows to deal with with Black Maria's subordinates, while Robin finally is gonna fight Black Maria one-on-one. As Black Maria just keeps on taunting, Robin is completely immune to the taunting and just says that you will never understand just how it means for him to rely on me, because he's the one who is the wings of the Pirate King. And what exactly that means, I don't know, but this seems to imply that Sanji will have a title in the future, Wings of the Pirate King. It is something that, since Wings is meant to be something like can help, maybe he is implying that he will help guide Luffy to a new deals, and then also the fact that he can fly using kicking from the Geppo. So this is actually creating that nice thing. What else kind of titles will the Straw Hats have? Maybe Zoro will be the sword of the Pirate King. Robin, I feel like, is the brains of the Pirate King. Nami should be the heart of the Pirate King. Jinbei should be the guide of the Pirate King. Frankie should be the inventor of the Pirate King, maybe. What is Brook? The soul of the Pirate King? And as for Chopper, I don't really know what that's. The care of the Pirate King, or the pet of the Pirate King. So, yeah, there's just gonna be some titles. And Usopp probably is gonna be the eye of the Pirate King, or something like that. So then suddenly, Robin creates a giant image of her with big giant hands as well, called Gigante Fleur. Oh yeah, and that is topless as well, but she's covering it up. Now we're actually gonna see Robin's Devil Fruit going on for real. And now she's actually creating giant versions of her to actually counter Black Maria's giant self. I still wish she just could have Haki, but here she's actually showing a surprising amount of fighting style that she hasn't done before. So yeah, I hope we'll see some awesomeness scene. Back on the ground, Luffy is saved, but he has not had enough food. It pisses me off so much that he has to have that much food, because that implies that we're gonna deal with that. He has, of course, eaten up all the food of the Heart Pirates, but it's still not enough. And Momonosuke and Shinobu has reunited with them thanks to the gliding off. He's crying of Kiku and Kinemon, but Luffy is saying that it isn't time for this. You're in charge. You can cry when it's over. And that he will not lose this time. All he needs is more meat. But he then points out to Onigashima and then says to Momonosuke that you have to take him up there. Transform into a dragon and fly. And that probably will not work. Because, well, Momonosuke is afraid of heights. And he's reluctant of his power. But if there's anything where we're gonna have some more character development for that bratty half-pint, then yes. It's not easy overcoming trauma. Especially since Kaido was the one who put him out the window from a very high height. And the fact that his dragon form is just like Kaido's. But still, if there's ever gonna be a time for Momonosuke must step up and really prove himself, then now is the best time. And what better time than to take Luffy up there by finally mastering his dragon-like abilities. The question is, will he do it? I don't think he will. I mean, he has to, but it's gonna be a hassle. Not to mention that Luffy has to eat more. Until he has eaten more, he won't be able to fight. And once he has eaten more, well, then he will be able to fight. In this scenario, I wish the Big Mom Pirates will come up, and then the Grand Fleet will come up so they can feed him, and then think out. Oh yeah, and Karibo is here. For the first time in a very long while, he is here. And, well, you know, he is, well, just wondering why Luffy hasn't won yet. So yeah, that's basically the chapter. Robin was very badass this scene, and I love it. Even though she didn't really fight much of it at all, Brook and Robin had pretty cool chemistry here. What awaits us next, I don't really know. But I really hope that Robin solos Black Maria. But we'll probably not see so much of Brook since he is actually declined to just take care of subordinates. Although some people will have a very serious problem with him defeating a number, but the number is not as powerful as you think. I mean, giants have unfortunately a very bad rep in One Piece now because they feel like they are being taken down more. But the fact that I'm pointing out to you, these numbers are nothing special. Not because they're giants, but they're nothing special because they are failed giants. They're dumb, they're stupid, and they are just destructive. They have nothing more. Brook can deal with that. So give me your thoughts if you have any.